everyone, it's Joel Davis with United Medical Transportation Providers Group. You are thebroker.com and Home Care Access. And first and foremost, let me start by thanking you all for your awesome emails. We got some great people out there. I'm thoroughly convinced we have the best client providers out there. And we always appreciate your kind words. Some of you sent some awesome emails that I know my staff appreciates, and that's why they enjoy responding to you and helping you and doing everything they possibly can. Many of you have asked where I've been. I know it's been a long time between my videos, and I apologize, but the fat man is swamped, to say the least. So, a lot going on. All good things. Despite the calamity around the world, how about these crazies? How about these loon tunes? How many of you got that voter's remorse? Y'all got that buyer's remorse going on there, man. Love it. Absolutely love it. So, I just finished working out, because if I don't work out, the fat man's going to be 700 pounds because of the volume of donuts that I eat. So, I said, that's it. I got to commit to putting this video together. We'll see how far we can go. I'm going to try to be as fast as I possibly can while also giving you some good stuff, some good golden nuggets. Understand, I got to start to be more and more careful because of so many different D-bags out there trying to steal our content. So we really have to be more selective. But as always, let's get into this. In starting out, I like to start with some good hater emails. Why would I start with some hater emails? I know the people out there stealing my stuff and all the loon tunes and all the White Walkers, you know, they try to make everything look and sound like it's a get rich quick, and they're just so, they're sacrificing of themselves to help other people. They're lying through their teeth. At the end of the day, the reason why I share my hater emails is because, A, let it be transparent. Some people love me, many people hate me. I don't care. I'm an equal opportunity hated person, whether it's people from the demonic rap party or the party of Judas and everything in between. I welcome all the hater emails. The hater emails not only allow us to be transparent, but also they motivate me. So we could share tons and tons of your awesome emails, and we like to do that, but I also have a special place in my heart for your hater emails because they're so delish. So this first one, don't know who it's from, says, I've watched some of your videos and find you hard to take serious since you're not actively driving and operating your own business. Kind of makes me feel like you are just in it to sell stuff online. I know I'm one of those online marketing scammers. I got something good for you. Here we go.
What do you say a woman is?
I believe that everyone can identify for themselves.
Okay. Do you believe then that men can become pregnant and have abortions?
Yes.
So if I lose credibility because I'm not out there driving. If you cannot see, I put my time in the box. I drove for the first 2 years of my business. But that's not the goal. My goal is not to drive. I knew that the more I drive, the more I lose. I don't want to learn from a driver. I want to learn from a successful business owner. Someone who's built wealth, created multiple businesses, has a dynamic business model and a dynamic business portfolio. I don't want to learn from an owner-operator. I don't want to learn from an Uber driver, a Lyft driver, or someone who, if they stop driving, they no longer make money. Sorry, I don't want to learn from that person. So everything that I share, and again, I've said this 1,000,001 times, if you're looking for someone to simply help you out, license this, license that, sign up with the broker, you don't need the fat man in our team. That's administrative stuff. That's easy peasy. That's low-hanging fruit. Anyone can do that. You can figure that on your own. What we do is we're strategic thinkers. We help you build, grow, and scale your business strategically based upon the opportunities you have. So if I'm not able to satisfy your needs because I'm not driving an NEMT vehicle, yeah, no doubt, I'm not for you. You got a special place of stupid out here going on here. So let me do that again real quick.
What do you say a woman is?
I believe that everyone can identify for themselves.
Okay. Do you believe then that men can become pregnant and have abortions?
Yes.
I absolutely love that chick in the back with the double masks, the horse trough, the face burqa. How does she even breathe in that thing? It's absolutely incredible. Anyways, if you've seen one of your videos, you've seen them all. I think you're just making videos because you like hearing yourself talk. Hey, I've said it before, at the end of the day, I think making some of these videos to some degree is for my own personal therapy, if anything. So, hey, maybe you're right. Hey, maybe I got a sexy voice. But, hey, you know what? Why are you still watching my videos? Why are you still watching my videos? If you've seen one, you've seen them all. Well, obviously you've watched multiple videos to come to that conclusion. So, at the end of the day, I think, well, there's a special kind of stupid going on here.
What do you say a woman is?
I believe that everyone can identify for themselves.
Okay. Do you believe then that men can become pregnant and have abortions?
Yes.
That's a special kind of dingbat. I wonder, who did those dingbats vote for? I know. Joel makes some good points, but you got to get past his politics. Yet so many people got voters' remorse, especially when they go to the gas pump. I do want to mention this because we are dealing with it constantly. We always have, but especially in light of the Loon Tune environment that we're in, we are just seeing absolute destruction. I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. You need to be careful of who you're listening to, what you're putting in your mind, even more so what strategies you're deploying. I'm going to read through a lot of emails here. I'm going to be all over the place. I'm going to keep stopping and interjecting some key points, so pay attention. Start, stop, pick up where you left off as necessary. I don't know how long we're going to go today, but pay attention. But again, I can't stress this enough. Someone in particular who I know is going to be watching, Loretta, I'm calling you out by name. I just started working with Loretta. Loretta, I told her, I said, you know what, you got to put you got to put your story out here so that we can share it. I'm sure she will soon, so that we can share it. She is a classic example of following the White Walkers, all the stupid the chat groups and all that stuff, following that, and just I'll wait. Hopefully she'll put that together and we'll have it for the next video. It's just a classic example of the destruction of the nonsense that we have to deal with. But just be careful of who you listen to and what you put into your mind. But anyways, let me start to transition here and dig into some meat. So this is from a client provider we're working with. He's in a communist state, train wreck of a state in many ways. He says, Joel, I met with him yesterday, his CPA. He says the CPA said there's no monetary benefit of any kind to me having an LLC as we laid out. Basically, we're talking about he purchased this business that's been around since 2010. He purchased it last year. Initially, when we corresponded, I told him he was going to be overpaying. He actually got it even cheaper. Worked out great. He got it at a good price point. But he's in a position where we have to transition, start to recapitalize this fleet, do different things. Because we're working to recapitalize this fleet, now is the perfect time for us to deploy the strategies we've talked about, the asset protection, the cash flow system that we want to create. So he goes and meets with his CPA, and as I've always said before, not everyone, I should make, that's too gross of a generalization, but 90+% of all CPAs are going to say exactly what his CPA said. There is no monetary benefit of any kind to having an LLC as we laid out. It simply adds one more layer of protection for his company. and the cost around $1,500, including $700 annual fees for the taxes and for the other entity. As I've mentioned to you before, a CPA, now granted, so much of what I learned in the early stages of my business and what I've done over the last 20 years and the way I've been able to make money, save money, protect myself, build the honey pot, goes all the way back to my CPA when I was young, dumb, complete D-bag. Thankfully, I had the wisdom and discernment to yield to his advice. Most CPAs have no comprehension thereof. They only see what's in front of them. Their numbers people, the filing fees, all that kind of stuff. They have no comprehension to the associated liabilities of anything regarding NEMT. So I know some of you, it's just crazy. Again, I'm going to be all over the place because some of the people that we start working with who come from the White Walker realm, getting advice from the brother-in-laws, taking the brother-in-law advice, the White Walker advice, a good CPA, just because someone's a good CPA, doesn't mean they understand legal issues or strategic planning and thinking for your NEMT. Just because they're your CPA and they see your tax returns and your books doesn't mean they're an expert for NEMT. The same thing holds true with an attorney. Not all attorneys are the same. No, not all doctors are the same. Not all facilities are the same. So again, I've mentioned a lot of times when you look at the macro perspective of what we're trying to create, using your NEMT business, your home care, your broker business, whatever your frontline business is. That's a frontline business. We want to build as much revenue, push it through your system, get it out of your frontline business, get it into your safer entities, push it through your system, build your honey pot. Eventually your honey pot is going to make you more money than your frontline business. That's when you're boom rich free. Boom rich free. Which, by the way, I think we're sending out like 70 something shirts here the next week because we took a big order, so they're coming in. So you guys should be receiving them soon. So awesome. But my point is this: when I mention you got to be careful of who you listen to, sometimes that also includes your CPA, your attorney, and it's not that they're not well intentioned. This CPA is a classic example. He's just saying, I don't see the monetary benefit to what you're trying to accomplish because when you add this other entity over here, you're going to have another $1,500 to start it and then $700 annual fee. That's all the CPA sees right in front of them. $1,500 to form the new LLC and then your annual $700 a year to operate, and then you're gonna have tax return for it, whatever. He's not seeing the big picture. Let me give you an example. So this is actually what I sent in response to my client provider who I'm working with right now. So I completely agree with the CPA on its face value right now. Yup, you're absolutely right. This makes no sense because at the end of the day, all we're gonna do is cost another $1,500 to form it, another $700 annually. But he's not seeing the big perspective. Let me give it a quick example. This is classic. Geico facing payout to a woman claiming she got an STD after sex in a car. Geico may have to pay $5.2 million to a woman for having sex in the back of a car. And who says sin doesn't pay? I mean, this trick spreads her legs in the back of a car and she's suing Geico, and Geico is going to pay out $5.2 million. So it's like, think about it. Now, what does this have to do with your NEMT? If Geico can get sued for $5.2 million for some trick, spreading her legs in the back seat of a car, getting an STD, she's going to get $5.2 million. Imagine the type of scenario where you actually have direct engagement with a patient, patient's family. Sometimes nurses' aides go out with, or general aides go out with a patient you might be transporting. Here it is. Geico's going to have to pay $5.2 million to a chick who spreads her legs in the back seat of a car. Joel, you shouldn't talk like that. I said it. I said it. I said it, and I don't regret it. Who says sin doesn't pay? It's true. If a chick in the backseat of a car could spread the legs, get an STD, get a $5.2 million payout, imagine what can happen when you're transporting someone with your NEMT business, your home care, not so much broker, but how about, I mentioned before in a couple of my videos, one of our client providers had to file bankruptcy for his lawn care landscape business because in the winter they would do snow removal. They had $1 million lawsuit against them because they cleared the sidewalks or driveway, whatever. Someone sues them for $1 million because they slipped on ice after they already plowed or shoveled. They had to bankrupt that business. Geico's got to pay out. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. In fact, I got to play this right here.
Do you look back at some of your old lyrics, given the climate of what's happening today with women's empowerment, and be like, damn, that was kind of fucked up that I said that?
Nope, hell no, that was me. I love every motherfucking man. Fuck them hoes.
I know, Joel, you're supposed to be a Christian. You shouldn't be playing that. You shouldn't be playing that. I know I had to, but I know. Joel, you shouldn't be judging this girl for spreading her legs in the backseat of a car and then suing Geico for catching an STD. I'm not judging. What's the Bible say? You are known by your fruits. I'm just a fruit inspector. That's all I am. I'm just inspecting fruit. It's crazy. Anyways, CPA does not understand the big picture of what we're trying to accomplish. That's just fact. So you don't fault the CPA. It's just reality of the situation. If a trick in the backseat of a car can get $5.2 million payout from Geico for catching an STD from some cat, I know it doesn't sound like a large number, but over all these years, we've had 2 client providers who had wrongful death lawsuits against them for people that they transported. Both of them were absolutely laughable and bogus. But the people were basically just, when they wanted a quick settlement and a cash grab. You know that's what it is. And the insurance company is inclined to pay it out. And in both instances, the person they transported, the person, and then the person died well after the transport was long since over. One person they were taking home on hospice, died later. Didn't have enough oxygen, claimed that the client provider didn't, when they were transitioning them from the stretcher to their home, that they went too long without oxygen. It was all nonsense. But regardless, again, people will try to do anything to your business. That's why we build the frontline business, build as much money as we can in revenue, push it through your system, get it out of the frontline business. CPA, well-intentioned. Looking at the monetary value, that's great. But if we don't take care of the liability concerns, if we don't take care of the liability issues, you don't have to worry about the monetary issues because you ain't going to be making no money because you're going to be broke. Regardless, as I told my client provider, granted, of all the people we work with, out of all these years, I've only heard 2 instances of wrongful death lawsuits. So that's minuscule in relation to all the different people out there who are operating NEMT, all the different people we work with. But at the end of the day, we're not going to take a chance. We're not going to take a chance of us being a statistic. You got to play it smart. Got to push money through your system. Here's the other caveat too. The CPA doesn't see the value in what he's doing. The CPA says, well, you're going to do another $1,500 to file it, $700 annually. I don't see the monetary value. The CPA's thinking, all your money, let's build all through your single entity. Is that really what rich people do? Or are rich people bigger, diverse, dynamic, have layers of protection, layers of separation? You don't operate everything out of a single LLC. That's absolutely flippin' insane. Absolutely insane. I got 6 entities, about to have 7. It's absolutely insane. Insane. All right, so let's see. Dan pushed this one in the other day, so this came. Okay. Hello, just wanted to provide information that may help those looking to do work with a specific broker. We talked about this one before a long time ago. CareCar Inc. I think their website is like carecar.org or .co or something like that. I remember it's a little different. So just want to provide information that may help those looking to do work with a specific broker, CareCar. Do not do any business with CareCar. I want to say they're heavy on the West Coast, but they're trying to break it on the East Coast. I know that they're in California, Arizona, California. They're big in California, Arizona for sure. They're building presence in Texas, Colorado. They might be in Nevada. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on Nevada. But again, I know they're trying to penetrate the East Coast in like North Carolina, South Carolina type deal. Regardless, do not do any business with CareCar. He continues, my company was running for them for about 2 months and invoiced roughly $20,000 for our service. We have not received any payment from them, and our communications go without a response. I got a list of other vendors throughout California and emailed everyone. They're going through the same experience. They all answered back saying they haven't gotten paid, some as far back as 2020. Again, we've talked about CareCar in some of our newsletters before, a long time ago. Steer clear of them, of CareCar. There was a couple of other ones that we put out a while back. Look, everyone knows I'm not a big fan of the logistic crap now, Motive Care, because they had to rebrand their name because their brand sucks. The MTMs, the Southeast Trans, everyone knows about all those. Access to Care, they're bad enough to work with, but these ones that don't even pay, don't even respond. And again, what these guys do is they rely on you not having the resources to sustain a long-term legal action, take them to court, because even if you win, it's not guaranteed, depending on where you're at, you're going to get your legal fees back. They rely on that. They rely on the transportation providers being separate, divided, segregated. That's what they prey on. That's what they prey on. It's absolutely brutal and criminal what they do. All the more reason, focus on your private pay and your contracted work. Hey Joel, my predecessor, okay, so this is from our client provider who purchased the business. My predecessor's been using this guy's software for 10 years. The main reason I wanted to continue using it is because instead of paying someone to bill blank, everything blank can be done through his software. It also bills and sends scene times to one of the brokers. So basically, this client provider purchased this business, and in order to maintain continuity of service within the business, something that his employees, who he inherited when he purchased the business, and then the owner who he purchased it from, the previous owner who he purchased it from, came to work for him, working as a dispatcher. So that's been okay. So he wants to, in an effort to maintain continuity in his operation, which he should at this point in time. We're working to transition his business because he's absolutely a slave to two brokers. He was doing work previously with Logisticrat, now Motive Care, because they had to change their name to rebrand because the brand sucks. And then he's also working directly with social services in his state, which is god awful, and the rate reimbursement where he is are low. So I told him, I said, stick with it, use the software for now while we work to transition his business. The problem is, let me pull it up here. The problem is they got him over the barrel. Absolutely got him over the barrel. Here it is. In order for him to continue, he's got to pay this itemized chart to be able to do all these different things with the software. In addition, he's got to pay something like, I want to say it was like $390 a month. So let's say it was $400. Like, so he's got to shell out $4,000. So to keep using this service now, he's got to pay $4,000 to get all those modules $400 a month, almost $400 a month on top of it. So $4,000 up front to get all those different modules, so we can upload stuff to the brokers, and then $400 a month for the service. Here's the irony of that. His business is doing about just over $1 million. The business is making money. His employees are making money. He's not making a lot of money yet. Hence the reason we're transitioning the business. Someone else, I gave him the example. Someone else in his state who's doing 3.2-ish, maybe a little more by now, per year, will not touch anything that he's doing. So where he's doing all broker work, this other client provider is doing 3 times as much in volume, won't touch any of these brokers, and they swear by DME. They've been using DME, for a decade plus, probably, whatever. Swear by DME. Here's the beautiful thing about it. DME, Dispatching Made Easy, is $97 a month, and they swear by it. And he has like 28, 29-ish, 27, 28, 29 vehicles, high 20s number of vehicles. He swears by DME. My point is, this client provider is dealing with brokers. In order to maintain continuity of his existing business, they're going to charge him another $4,000 just to maintain those modules, plus close to $400 a month for that software. So it's because his business model caters to a lower ROI, i.e. the brokers, he's strung out over a barrel. This software company has him over the barrel. And he's asking me, what would you do? What would I do? Look, in the short term, we're working to transition your business. It's a bitter pill to swallow, but we got to maintain continuity of your existing business so we could leverage it as a platform to grow and diversify, expand, and transition. So the last thing we want to do is change everything right now. Do we want to implement a new system that we're going to have to retrain employees, your dispatchers, your office personnel? No, absolutely not. So as bitter of a pill as it is to swallow, it's kind of to his advantage to swallow that pill, pay the $4,000 to get all these modules, to keep all these modules current, and then continue to pay the almost $400 a month. But once we transition and we're no longer dependent on these brokers, so we don't have to upload, that's when he could tell them to F off as well. Again, it's no two businesses are the same, and it's all about the type of business model that you want to develop, to build, grow, and scale. Again, I got someone a few hours away from him doing 3 times the volume, higher margin, not even close, doesn't even compare. I could tell stories about his business. Now, don't get me wrong, he's on one extreme of the spectrum, but high margins. But because all he does, he'll be the first one to tell you, I'm not wasting my time with that Medicaid stuff. I'm not wasting my time with that broker stuff. I let my competitors deal with that. I let my competitors toil around, dick around with that nonsense. Let them stay busy. I'll do where the real money is, and it works out well for him. So it's a classic example of who you hitch your wagon to. You hitch your wagons to the brokers with the lowest ROI. Not only do you get the lowest ROI, you have the greatest rules and regulations you have to deal with. When you go private pay and contracted work, you empower yourself. I could go on and on. Let's see where we are at. All right, this is from a great dude. I'm excited to see what's going to happen to this guy. He and his girlfriend have been in business. I talked about them before. I want to say 4 years and 4 years. Just purchased a property. I'm excited for them. They're in the communist state of New York, where I am. But they're making money, and they're positioning themselves to make bigger money. So he says, again, I told you I was going to read through some emails, and I'll continue to throw in some good tidbits as we go along. So He says, hello, Joel. I knew you guys were pimping us out, but I had no idea that you guys were going to do such a great job with the marketing materials. We built his website. When we build your websites, we also our media team also puts together your marketing materials. He says, we are so thankful and appreciative of your entire team's work, including yourself. My confidence is on a whole nother level thanks to you guys. I have full confidence that once I adapt and implement your strategies, there is no limit to what we can do. Again, I want to thank Tom and the entire team, Dan, Don, and yourself. Again, he was already making some money, but he really didn't have a good plan for taking the next step. He was really just catering to what was offered to him, what was offered by a broker. Like I say, he was making money, but he wasn't in a position where we could exponentially grow and scale. Now we're doing it because now we're working to really and legitimately build his NEMT division. He continues, I also want to know about the continuing with your team and keeping you on retainer because our time was coming up. I know we are not done with the program, but I feel that it will be vital to our success. By continuing with you guys past the coaching program, of course, we are here. I would like to know what would be the cost to keep you on retainer so I can keep setting the funds aside. So I already responded and we got them taken care of. I am also interested in the broker business. That's good. We feel that it will be a great investment for us. I know I have to focus on NEMT. Yes, you do. But if I can learn more about the broker business and see how we can start it up, I will greatly appreciate it. At first, we were looking to expand our NEMT business in blank state, a neighboring state, for which I told him, no, we are not doing that. But after rethinking, we are more attracted to starting a business that has very minimal overhead and regulation. This can help us add to the honeypot and move our NEMT revenue to the broker business and commercial real estate. Like I said, I'm very excited about the position they're in. They are in a great pocket. Again, New York is a communist state, high tax, high gas, all that kind of stuff, high regulation. High insurance, all that kind of good stuff. He's in a very good pocket, very good market. And for him to try to expand into a neighboring state, I told him, I said, that's the most foolish thing we could do because that state has even greater regulation than the People's Republic of New York. So absolutely not. Focus on the NEMT. Let's build it by all means. We could definitely work on helping you with your broker business for sure. No question. We want to build, grow, and scale, but we got to do it strategically. We don't want to go into states with even more regulation. Lastly, I want to bring to your attention about some important information that was told to us by one of our riders. One of our riders recently obtained employment from a local assisted living center in our area. She informed us that the facility does not have anyone that is transporting their residents currently. She informed me that the lady that used to handle transportation up and quit because she was wearing too many hats and had too much on her plate. She also told me that the facility usually has one of its employees transport the residents when they need to get to their medical appointments. The facility has a total of 85 residents, and I am not sure what percentage is Medicaid or private pay. When I see her again, I will try and get that information to you. Also, residents in the facility call a taxi service for their transportation. And if they have to go on a long-distance trip, they usually have to wait a while for transportation. I wanted to know from your perspective, what is the best way to approach the facility? I know that I do not have the capacity to cover all 85 residents as of today, but I know that if I offer a solution to their problem, I can at least get myself in the door. True. The facility is called Blank Assisted Living. The address is Blank, which is approximately 1.5 miles from our business location. To say that's in your backyard is an understatement. 1.5 miles away is like under your foot. So no question, we need to become best buds with them. We need to be doing servicing them. I know I keep saying it, but again, thank you guys, and I will see you at the top. Boom Rich Free, no question. Boom Rich Free. So There's many different ways to approach this with this facility. Again, I'm going to be very cautious and careful of what I say and suggest because of all the trolls out there and the White Walkers who keep trying to steal our stuff. One thing I would tell you not to do, and then I'm going to go back to where I first talked about you got to be careful of who and what you listen to. And Loretta, who we started working with this past week, she'll be the first one to tell you. I don't want to give away too much of her info because I want her to be able to write up her own story so we could share it with you guys because it's just incredible. But she was dumbfounded because one of the White Walkers, one of the social media guru experts, social chat experts, their solution is to send over faxes. Fax your advertisements to these facilities or call them and ask them if you could send them over a fax advertisement. If you really think that you're going to build a relationship and you're going to get your foot in the door by sending someone a fax advertisement, I mean, first of all, people who are still using faxes are so antiquated. If you really, and not only are the fax machines antiquated, if you think that someone, you're going to fax it over and someone at a nursing facility or assisted living facility is going to pull out that fax and, oh, wow, that is a great effort. Oh, we should call them for transportation. Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? When they pull that out, they're going to be pissed because you just wasted some of their printer ink ribbon thing, whatever. They're going to be pissed because they're going to be pissed that you just wasted their paper. What do you think they're going to... Oh, look, we got a fax coming through. Oh, it's an advertisement from ABC, NEMT. Oh, offering our services. Oh, let's put that in the wastebasket. And they're going to be pissed that you just tied up their fax line and you wasted their paper and their ink. And I promise you they're not going to call. And as I'm sure Loretta will explain when she sends in her story, all the money that she wasted by listening to the White Walkers and the social groups and their advice for getting into facilities was send over a fax advertisement. Brilliant. Oh, long-term growth strategy right there. Joel, you think you know it all? I don't think I know it all, but I do know a lot. And I know this. If you think that business cards are a form of advertisement, you might be a fool. If you think that fax advertisements is a good form of advertising your business, you probably believe this.
What do you say a woman is?
I believe that everyone can identify for themselves.
Okay. Do you believe then that men can become pregnant and have abortions?
Yes.
Oh, man, that just never ceases to amaze me. That is just such a special kind of stupid. It's just incredible. Incredible. All right, so this is a series of emails from someone who I'm absolutely loving to see what she's doing and building and growing and putting together. She's putting work in, time in the box. So I got a series of emails here that I don't know if we had them all, but we have them in chronological order. The reason I'm going to share these, not only are you going to be able to gather some tidbits of info, but you could see how things can change, and they can change quickly. Now, again, so many of you who are listening to the White Walkers, it's, hey, can you get me the phone number to the nearest broker? I want to build my business. And, oh, okay, call this number to the broker. Then you call the broker, and you sit back and you wait for trips. Everyone knows I don't espouse that business model. You're not going to have anything to sell. You're not going to have anything to sell. It's going to be... No, we got agreements. We got all this broker work. We got all these broker trips. You're going to have a hard time selling anything in the future. What we want to do is put you into business to make real money, push it through your system, get it out of your frontline business, but have something that we can sell in the future at a multiple. That's the goal. Signing up with brokers, that's not going to accomplish any of those things. You're going to have the greatest degree of rules and regulations, the least amount of ROI, and you have no hard to sell in the future. Why? Because you don't have direct access to the customers. Any trips you get are from brokers. So this girl from Jump Street knew she wasn't going to go that broker route. We have no problem. Again, let me be abundantly clear. I've talked about it 1,000,001 times in other videos, and like whoever the dingbat was in the beginning that said, if you listen to one of your videos, listen to them all. Like she said, there's actually some truth to that, because I'm being redundant with what I say, the messaging regarding these brokers. But at the end of the day, you leverage the brokers. If you can make money with the brokers, I got no problem with it. But you don't build your house on sand. So sometimes, especially in the early stages, we can sign up with brokers to help use them as a type of Trojan horse to get into certain places. But again, if we're not making money, it's an absolute waste of time. We know that we're never going to make per trip the ROI on a broker trip as we would a private pay trip or some of the contracts that we could develop with facilities. We know that. But from Jump Street, she's gone all in on her private and contracted work. So again, this corresponds as a series of emails, and I want you to see the process and how things can change, and they can change quickly. So this is from several weeks ago. Again, I know it's been a long time since my last video. I've been busy. I apologize. She says, "Happy Monday, Joel. I wanted to let you know that I had my first stretcher transport on Saturday. Stretchers are definitely a big money maker. They are. We love stretchers. In your ebook, you mentioned using an H-frame stretcher. What brand stretcher offers an H-frame? Stryker does offer H-frame. Not as much as they used to, but they still do. Furno does as well. Furno has definitely elevated their play over the years. They've continued to get better and better. They've always been trying to target Stryker. And a lot of their models, they're trying to elevate their play to replicate what Stryker's doing. So Stryker is typically the lead dog. Furno has definitely elevated their play and their equipment. It's equally as good in my opinion. I couldn't find a Stryker H-frame model. I'm watching your newest video now, and you are correct. I've seen so many people on different group pages who are stealing your swag. They're spitting out your information, but they only got 1 or 2 years in the game. I don't want a mentor to be a newbie. I need a mentor who is experienced. I hope that those quote-unquote mentors don't bankrupt too many people, because again, I mentioned this a couple videos ago, and I mentioned earlier in this one, I mean, the stuff that we're seeing right now, it's just absolutely ridiculous. And especially when you further magnify and compound the issue with the lunacy of what's going on with the record high inflation, fuel prices, everything. It's just absolute calamity. So she's spot on. What do you really want to listen to someone who's been in the game for 1 or 2 years? My game has been going on since 2020. So I'm 22 years in the game. When you talk about my honeypot was 20 years in the making. And that's why boom, rich, free. That's why I could start these videos with hater emails, because I don't care. This is why I can be transparent. This is why you don't hear me talking about like all these other wannabes of how awesome it is. I'll tell you the good and the bad. Whereas they're just going to make it sound like it's so easy. Oh, sit back, collect checks. Oh, you're helping people. You are. But guess what? Those are going to be the first people that will take advantage of you. And I've said it again. No one cares about you. No one cares about you. You don't do your due diligence. You don't put in the work and care for and protect yourself. No one will. Going back several emails in this video, when I talked about those 2 providers who we worked with who got wrongful death lawsuits, one of those 2 clients, the client was with them for years. Years. They were a dialysis patient. How many times do you think they transport them? I mean, untold number of times. Untold number of times. Multiple years, 3 times a week. So you're already looking at each year. What are you looking at? 52 weeks in a year, 3 times. You're looking at 150 plus just in 1 year. I know they transport them for a few years, so let's say that's 3. So 150 times 3, we're already what? Into the 450? I mean, just hundreds of times they've transported them. And their son had a mental condition anyways. And when he passes away, he was in the hospital. They end up trying to sue our client provider for wrongful death lawsuit. And they hadn't even seen or touched him in over a week because he had been admitted in the hospital. You really think they care about you, the transportation provider? No. No. So you're going to go listen to these people who've been in the game for years. Here, let me put you like this. If someone is trying to make money off what they're pushing online, if you have to build a stream of it, if you have to build an existence, if you have to build a living off of something that you haven't even done, you're still driving because you haven't built Boom Rich Free. You haven't built Grow and Scale, sell to the multiple. Is that the brother-in-law advice you want? Be careful. Why do I say it? Because we are dealing with it and it makes it harder for us because we are busy as heck, A, and I know it's frustrating to my staff when we're playing cleanup duty. It's crazy. You got to practice discernment. I have a telephone meeting with an administrator from a facility later this afternoon. I'll keep you posted. Have a great week. I sent her a link to some stretchers to get her the right equipment. She says, "Thanks for the link. The administrator never called yesterday. Ugh, I was so disappointed." So again, this entire thread is so that you could understand, see how things can change. You just got to keep sowing the seeds. Let the pressure build behind the dam. The more the pressure builds behind the dam, you're going to start seeing the cracks. And all of a sudden, boom, they're going to start to pop, and you're going to have to stick your fingers and your toes trying to stop them from bursting. But eventually, you're going to run out of fingers and toes, and then you got a really great problem. A problem nonetheless, but it's going to be great, and it's going to be welcome. Now we got to go. It's go time. She continues, "The administrator never called yesterday. Ugh, I was so disappointed. I sent her an email and let her know I'm available at any time to further discuss building a relationship with the facility. I'll let you know if and when I hear from her. I'm going to be optimistic." In the meantime, I went around to at least 10 other facilities and handed out the marketing materials. I got a call from a new facility this morning! Exclamation point, exclamation point. The administrator of the facility said that he will review my rates and get back to me. Fingers crossed. I also reserved another trip today. Things are definitely picking up. She's not just sitting back waiting. Oh, I hope some trips are going to come through. Maybe they'll come through our fax that no one's using anymore. I hope that we get some trips from the broker today. She's doing it. Let's see where I was. Your staff can't be duplicated. Everything the team has done up to this point has saved me days worth of work as far as having to make cold calls to facilities. The savings that I'm incurring in insurance costs have already paid for the cost of this one-on-one program. Plus, having you available to answer so many random questions has been invaluable. I couldn't be happier with what you've done for me, and it's a shame that others can't appreciate the value in what you do. I'll keep you posted. Have a great day. Now, here's where things start to really pick up. "Hi, Joel. The administrator from the blank facility called today and gave me a verbal agreement that she plans to refer her residents to me. Don't hate on me." Laugh out loud. And then I just wanted to share that I received another service agreement proposal. This is a separate email on a separate day. I just wanted to share that I received another service agreement proposal because we already put some service agreements together for her for other facility. From one of the facilities from the market analysis. This week I've had a facility give me a verbal agreement and actual service agreement. Both leads came from the market analysis. Things are picking up. Next email. "Hi Joel, I just watched your most recent video." This is actually the most recent one where I had to talk about people disrespecting my peeps. "I just watched your most recent video. It sucks that Dawn had that experience. Good job for sticking up for her. I wanted to let you know that I got a call today from a marketing manager from one of the largest assisted living facilities in my area, blank name. I say that because blank corporation has approximately 10 facilities within 50 miles of my home office. He says that he received my marketing information and she never even met him directly. So someone passed it up to her. He said that he received my marketing information and he is interested in having me come to a healthcare marketing event that they're hosting in the first 2 weeks of June." What's so beautiful about this is any of you who've studied my like the DVD series and everything, where I talk about how we piggybacked in the early stages of my business, where we piggybacked ourselves off the hospital. One of the biggest contracts that I had was with 2 sister hospitals, actually 3 of them, because we had 2 of them local. We had another one that's about 45 miles away. But when they would do expos in the local mall, we would go do it, and we would piggyback ourselves off of them. As in, we transport people to and from them. We would try anything we could possibly do to integrate ourselves with them. We rode their coattails, and it worked out great because eventually I ended up getting an awesome contract, and doors just blew off. Here's a classic example where she's going to be able to do something similar. The event will have residents and executive directors, and he would like for me to be one of their vendors who represents the transportation industry. Joel, I can't say this enough, but I truly would like to thank you and your team for answering all of our questions since we've been working together, recreating our awesome website, sharing your knowledge, and providing me with the tools to succeed. Within the past 2 weeks, again, things can change. They could change fast. Within the past 2 weeks, I've entered into one verbal agreement, an actual service agreement with blank facility, and have been asked to be a vendor at an event to represent medical transportation. The marketing material that your team put together is phenomenal, and I have no doubt that I am in the position because of your efforts. I will keep you posted. Boom, Rich, free! Love her. Now, this is an email she sent to Lisa. Lisa, sends out emails as we're finishing up our 60 days. Just basic feedback. How was everything? What can we improve? All kind of stuff. She says, hello, Lisa. Working one-on-one with Joel and his team has been tremendously helpful. A tremendously helpful experience. For starters, his team helped me to save hundreds of dollars annually in commercial insurance. His team rebranded my website and logo and developed a multi-page, professional-looking executive welcome packet that facilities administrators are very impressed with. The market analysis was a tremendous resource that allowed me to quickly build relationships with several different facilities. Within the last 2 months of working with Joel, my business has flourished under Joel's guidance. I have been able to establish service agreements with 3 different nursing facilities in my area. My trip load is increasing with each week, and I credit much of my success so far to Joel and his team. Everyone responded promptly to my questions and were very knowledgeable. I can't say enough how valuable Joel's one-on-one coaching has been for me. Thank you, Joel and team. Forever grateful. We absolutely love working with people like this. And the other reason why it makes it beneficial is because some people, when they retain our services, they want us to just co-sign what they're doing. I don't know if they are willing to spend that much money because they just want me to reaffirm what they're doing, for which case I'm not going to do. I make it abundantly clear. My job, especially if you're paying me good money, my job is to not tell you what you want to hear. My job is to tell you what you need to hear. The same thing with my staff. So I understand that some of you may not like what we tell you sometimes. You may get chippy with the jibbies. I don't care if you get chippy with me and send me your hate emails. Just don't get chippy with my people, as per my last video. So we love working with people. She's like, we call it a blank slate. She was a blank slate. We helped her get the vehicle. She found the vehicle. So kudos to her. She found the vehicle. I remember Dan was working with her, and then Dan would send me some emails, so I saw it. Yep, that's what we want. Yep, that's perfect. Let's go with that. So she found the vehicle. We affirmed that this is a good deal. Let's go with it. Which is a side note right now. Understand this. It is tough right now. This is probably the toughest time that I've seen for vehicles. I am constantly, every single day, looking for vehicles. And the market right now is absolutely flipping crazy. So trust me, there's still some deals out there. We're finding them. But then remember, I gotta find the right ones for the right people. Not everyone's looking for the same type. We gotta be very smart. So just know it's just taking, we're having to dig a little deeper and look a little farther for sure, because this economy is so jacked the F up. Everything is so inverted. Everything is so effed up. Just know. Because we're working with a lot of people that, like we got this. I have this one client provider I'm working with. So close to getting this one vehicle. It's a steal of a deal. And I told my client provider we need the Carfax, and the seller sent in pictures of the Carfax, but it didn't include mileage. No. We always do the Carfax, and a legitimate Carfax always has mileage itemized for every time it's serviced. Throughout the entire life of the vehicle, you can see mileage. If I can't verify mileage, that's not a legitimate Carfax. We don't move forward. And people always ask, well, Joel, do you feel comfortable buying vehicles online? I can't tell you how many vehicles I purchased online for my own business, number one. And then 20 times that, 30 times that for how many vehicles we've purchased online for client providers all over the country. Out of all those vehicles, I mean, hundreds, thousands, we've only had two issues, and both of them were mileage related. We weren't able to verify the mileage. It was misrepresented when we compared what the seller was saying and the Carfax. So there's great vehicles out there, great deals. It's harder right now, so you got to be patient with us, because trust me, it ain't like we're not trying. Because we got to rebuild some of these fleets out there, and at the end of the day, we're still looking for good deals. We're not going to do something stupid, but we're not paying some just overly inflated, stupid rates. But again, Carfax is a necessity. If we don't have legitimate Carfax that can verify mileage or anything, whether it's a fender bender, anything damage related, any type of service, it's all got to be verified. If it's not verifiable on the Carfax, the deal's closed right there. But again, going back to this great client provider who we love, I mean, we love working with people like that because they are receptive to what we're trying to help them do. Now, speaking of fuel prices and vehicles, I just got to share this one as well, okay? Now again, I know it's been a long time since I made the last video. This is from our client provider, shared this again. This is an email to our client provider. He one of the brokers he works with is Call the Car. And he's been saying, hey, gas prices through the roof. What are you doing to help us? And here's a letter, a brief letter. It says, hi, blank, to my provider. That is correct. You should start to see mileage increase in your invoice in the form of 10 cents for every mile traveled. At this time, we don't have a set end date. However, I don't have any news. If it is permanent, this will continue until further notice. 10 cents. 10 cents. 10 cents. Gas is through the roof. 10 cents. 10 cents. 10 cents a mile. They're gonna, and look how they say, this will continue until further notice. Like, you're doing me a favor? Like, you're doing me a favor. Where I am, I just filled up yesterday for $4.99. $4.99, so let's say 5 bones. I filled up for $4.99, which is still a steal of a deal as compared to the communist state of California. So I filled up for $4.99. January 20th, year and a half ago, gas was $2.09. I took pictures of it. My wife has 2 nieces, dingbats. They're dingbats. They're like many of you who got the voters the remorse. You know, they we love it. Orange man bad. No mean tweets, offensive, safe space, snowflakes, bend knees, send virtue signal. They're all with some of you loon tunes who do that. Same thing. I knew what was going to happen. I took a picture on January 20th when gas was $2.09, and I sent it to her. I said, okay, now she's in college. She's in college being indoctrinated by the loon tunes, all the groomers. I said, let's watch this. Up and away. Let's watch these prices. Her mom is an occupational therapist, fixed income. Let's watch these prices. And then as gas prices would go up to $2.39, $2.79, $3.01, this all along the way. I take pictures, and I still do it to this day. I just did it yesterday, $4.99. I sent her the picture. I said, hey, we're 1 penny away. We're almost hitting our goal. We're hitting the target. 10 cents. Gas prices where I am was $2.09. It's more than doubled. It's laughable. 10 cents. This will continue until further notice. This is what you get with the broker. Versus build and cultivate your own clientele. Build and cultivate your own agreements directly with facilities. You empower yourself. Prices are going up. We need to adjust our agreements. Folks, we're in business, sure, help people. No question. And I know all the experts, all the people who are are still drivers, but they're gurus because they're driving. They're going to talk about how you're helping people. You're in business, you feel good about yourself, you're helping people. Yes, you can feel good about yourself, you're helping people. But if you ain't making money, what's the point? If you're not making money to build a legacy and generational wealth for you and your family, what is the point? Boom, rich, free. If we're not doing boom, rich, free, what's the point? And again, if you're going to be a volunteer service, that's a different conversation. If you're doing this to strictly to give back, that's a different conversation. I get all that. If we are not making real money, what is the point? Hey Joel, I've been in contact with the seller for a vehicle, and I should be able to send him the balance for the van Friday or Monday at the latest. Once I give him the balance, he told me that the van should get to me in about 7 business days because we're shipping it, which shipping costs are definitely more expensive now. I want to thank you again, Joel, for the great deal you were able to find. I took a look at your recent video, and I've been bragging to everyone that my coach was talking about me on YouTube. I love talking about my people in the YouTube videos. Once I found out the expected shipping date for the van, I will let you know. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you at the top. Boom, rich, free. Boom, rich, free. I love how many of you are sharing the vision. Boom, rich, free. Absolutely agree. Absolutely love it. Again, love this. I love what this guy is doing, and he's going places. He's going places. Love it. Hey Amelia, one more question for you. Do you by any chance have a cross program that you can purchase to cover both youarethebroker.com and NEMT together? We do not. The reason we don't is because when I work with you for NEMT, it's for 60 days. If you want to keep me on retainer thereafter or whenever, that's fine. We could do that. But some people we work with long term. Other people, once they start gaining more momentum, then we start working with them again with their NEMT. With the broker, that is a full year. You're working with one of my regional directors who are literally working with you, call, text, write, send smoke signals, whatever is necessary. People have asked, why is you the broker? Why is that such a high price point? Because it makes money. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. So I don't have a cross program for you or the broker and NEMT, because I have different partners with you or the broker. With the NEMT is my organization, structured different, 60 days versus you're working with one of my regional directors for a full year. And like I say, I have business partners with you or the broker, so it's just a different dynamic. So no, we don't. They're two totally separate programs. Let's start wrapping this up here because I'm losing my voice here. Let me pick a good one here. I kind of touched on that one. All right, let's go with this one. Why do I not want clients to be able to schedule transportation directly through a website or software? Very good question. The reason why you never have someone, the reason why, now I know a lot of people out there, if you go to White Walkerville, everyone thinks they're a resident expert, they're all resident gurus, they all could do everything we do, all that kind of good stuff. And they're going to tell you, oh, absolutely, empower the customer, let them schedule their own transport. That is absolutely insane. That is absolutely insane. At most, everything should be they submit their information and then they're notified that it's pending. Why? If you let someone go through your website and actually schedule their transport, trust me, you're going to have people at 6 o'clock in the morning schedule transport for 7:30 in the morning, an hour and a half away. And when you don't go pick them up because you didn't even notice it, because you didn't even see it, you didn't get the notification, or you just can't do it because you're already booked out, or whatever the issue is, who do you think is going to be at fault? You. You're at fault. I submitted, I booked it on your website. So that's why when our media teams, people, good common question, people ask, well, couldn't you make it where people will book on our website? No, we won't do that. When we build the websites, we let people submit their information and they get an auto notification that their information is under review. Someone will contact them to confirm reservation arrangements. Bottom line. in Dispatching Made Easy, you can set up profiles for the facilities that you have contracts, you do service agreements with. You can give them the credentials. They could log into their own exclusive portal. They could log into dmelive.com. They can create customer profiles for their residents. When they create the trip, you're notified through your DME portal, and the trip shows up as pending. You have to approve it. Again, same scenario. We're not going to have some facility at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They're trying to set up a 4 o'clock appointment, a 4 o'clock pickup. You could be swamped. You could be busy. The notification from the facility in Dispatching Made Easy will populate as pending. Your dispatcher then either approves it or declines it. If they were to decline it, they could add notes of why they're being declined. You could decline it saying, hey, I can't do it 4 o'clock, but I could do it 4:30. Let's redo it. Or, we're swamped. We can't. If you give people the opportunity to take advantage of you, they're going to take advantage of you. This is a classic example of where, trust me, it will be abused. It will be taken advantage of. Let's say you are able to do it. Let's say someone goes in on your website and they create an appointment. They go in at 6 o'clock in the morning and they create an appointment for 7:30. And you're able to do it. And that's awesome. Go do it. Well, guess what? Do that again. And then down the road, they're going to wait till 6:59 and they're going to create their trip for 7:30. And when you don't show up 36 minutes later, who's the enemy? You are. The next thing you know, they're going to be going online, going on your Yelp, going on your reviews, your testimonials, on your Google My Business, all that stuff, and they're going to be giving you bad reviews. All the while, it defies common sense and logic. So don't put yourself in a position to be abused, because that's what you're doing. So I'm going to skip through some of these here, and we'll have to save some for later, because like I say, I'm losing my voice. But I hope that you guys have learned some stuff here. Let me tell you this. I know that, especially with all the craziness that's going on right now, I've told you guys that you've got to grow through the insanity. We all know this is insanity. Everybody knows it. Even for those of you who voted for it, even those of you who voted for it who don't have buyer's remorse because you have so much pride, you're still trying to stick by it, and you're still trying to see through it. Deep down inside, you know, things are effed up. Things are absolutely effed up. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to rescue you. If you think the government's going to save you, they're not going to save you. The only people who could save you is God and through your own efforts. Government should be able to put us in a position for us to succeed. Right now, the government is on our back. They're making things harder for us. Clearly, they're making things harder for us. The good news is, as an entrepreneur, we have our creativity. We have flexibility. If you go back to, I mentioned my wife's niece, the dingbats. The Battle of the Dingbats, because they're absolute dingbats regarding reality. Like so many of the Looney Tunes. Battle of the Dingbats. Their mother on a fixed income. Gas prices, killing them. Their grandfather, retired on a spend down account. Gas prices, killing them. Their aunt works as a school teacher. Fixed income. You can only make so much. As an entrepreneur, the sky is the limit. As an entrepreneur, you can be your own superstar. God willing, make good choices. If you're God empowered, God inspired, He's given you the ability, the sky is the limit. Someone said to me recently, you got to pick your heart. And it's so true. I love that. You got to pick your heart. When I say you got to grow through things, it's going to be hard. But you got to pick your heart. You're either going to pick your hard that I'm going to push through and I'm going to grow through this. I'm going to build, grow, and scale my NEMT business. I'm going to grow my home care business. Or you're going to pick your hard where you're going to sit back, be controlled by others, whether it be a broker, who I refer to as like the gatekeepers, the toll booth operators, because you never know. They're the ones that are closest to the customer. They own the customer, and they give you whatever they want. And you don't know. You're going to wake up tomorrow and have 100 trips. You're going to wake up tomorrow and have 1 trip. You're going to wake up and have no trips. You pick your hard. Hard is here regardless. So you pick your hard. Are you going to pick the hard by investing the time, money, and effort to build, grow, and scale your own business? Business is plural. Or are you going to pick your hard by sit back, be a knee bender, be a snowflake, take what the brokers give you, take what life gives you. You're reactionary. I want to pick the hard where I'm at least in control and I'm giving myself a fighting chance despite the insanity that's going on out there. And I hope you do too. I hope you do too. It's like there's going to be an article that we're going to be publishing soon on homecareaccess.com that's talking about how so many hospitals have closed. Now think about this. So many hospitals have closed. But wait a minute. How is that possible? I thought the death toll, the pandemic, the death toll, people are stacked up. Stacked up. Well, that never seemed to happen. How are hospitals closing? But hospitals closing. Does that provide you with an opportunity? If hospitals are closing, especially in some of these more rural areas, I wonder, does that give you a home care opportunity? If hospitals are closing in more rural areas, does that give you an NEMT opportunity? That's a lot of mileage. And you know I love mileage because mileage adds up. Mileage is pure profit. But folks, I can go on and on. Times are hard, but you got to pick your hard. And if you pick your right hard, even though it is hard, well, I'll see you at the top.
Let's go, Brandon. Hey. Let's go, Brandon. Hey.